Hey guys, this is Bombchew, and this is my first test for I guess a podcast type of video games. I've been thinking about putting the camera on me, but I think I'd rather just talk it out because I just woke up and I don't know. I'll try this out where the camera's not on me, but I can still do some form of videos. I guess audio in this case. The Switch 2 is going to be revealed more tomorrow in the Nintendo's long-awaited Direct, April 2nd, at a really early time, 6 a.m. And yeah, it's been a while since the console reveal. Tomorrow they're gonna do reveal a lot of stuff, and this pretty much my predictions. Before I start, I will say that I don't think it's gonna be. I've seen a lot of comments saying how amazing and crazy, and I hope it does become amazing and crazy. The reveal, but let's be honest. This is the second Switch. This is not a new console. Um, this is not to me as big as when the Wii and even the OG Switch got revealed, where you were like, whoa, okay. It's like totally new. Um, you heard rumors before it got revealed, but still, it's a brand new console, new playstyles. With the Switch 2, I'm actually more excited about the games and maybe the mouse functionality. I have questions about that, but you know, this it's a more powerful Switch, that's for sure. Larger Switch, but other than that, I don't think I'm gonna be like blown away by this. As for the price, I think it's going to be, and people are not gonna like this. It's gonna be $500. The OLED Switch right now is retailing for around 350, sometimes 300 if it's on sale. So you're telling me that the Switch 2 is only going to be $50 more than the OLED Switch. I mean, the Switch 2 for sure will not have an OLED screen. I guess that's why the OLED is more expensive, but I don't know. In my gut feeling, I think it's just going to be $500, but that's also a problem for me if Mario Kart 9 is their launch title. Mario Kart 9 is more of a family friendly game. I mean, it is very competitive, but it can all ages can play the game. And from what I saw on the last Switch 2 reveal, an average person is not gonna look at Mario Kart 9 and think that, oh, this looks way better than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, aside from the 24 players rumored to have, let's be honest, it looks slightly better, but, we haven't really seen enough of Mario Kart 9 either, so I don't want to make that statement, but to me, it doesn't look that much better than Mario Kart 8. Biggest third party surprise for me is gonna be Elden Ring. Game of the year. It makes sense to me. There was Dark Souls remastered release for the Switch, and from what I know, a lot of people like that. I haven't played it myself. There will be no new Super Smash Brothers. I know Sakurai is working on a different game. I don't think it's gonna be Smash, and for me, I think Smash is kind of done at the moment with Ultimate. Like, I don't know how you can make that game any more better. So I think they might re-release Smash Ultimate for the Switch 2 as maybe with extra features, extra resolution. The one thing I think will happen is there will be a Final Fantasy VII remake, but my one wish is an announcement for Final Fantasy IX Remake, which is my favorite game of all time. This is the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy IX, and they're releasing a lot of stuff this year for it. I think it makes sense to use Switch 2 as the place to announce it. I think that would be awesome. And if it does happen, I will go crazy. Release date, I think it's going to be in June. Makes sense to me. Right before summer, all the kids will go on break and play a lot of Switch 2. The next prediction is Switch 2 editions. It's not going to be an update. Like, I don't know. I think they're going to re-release the games for a full price with patches included. Maybe they will sell a patch for older games, but if they're so if they want to market Switch 2 so much, a person's not gonna go buy a Switch 1 game and then think that it's going to get upgraded to a Switch 2 version. Like, that's for an average consumer. They don't think like that. They're gonna see the Switch 2 logo and think that's for the Switch 2, and when they see the Switch, they're gonna think, oh, this is the older game. I'm not gonna buy this version. So I don't know. I think with how greedy the game companies can be, I think they will re-release it. Also, one of the a lock for me for this prediction is the top USB port, which is really just gonna be used for charging. I don't know how people can think of attachments to this thing when, you know, it solves the charging issue on the original Switch. If you're telling me you're gonna attach something on top of it, how are you gonna charge it again? It doesn't make sense to me. It's gonna make it feel bulky. So the top USB is just a charging port. That's it. As far as Nintendo Service Online (NSO) goes, I think GameCube's gonna make a splash in that. Third party, I think EA is still gonna hold back on the Switch 2 at the moment. At this point, I don't really care if Madden comes to the Switch 2. I think EA and Nintendo knows what their audience is. And I know Switch 2, I think, will be a more mature audience than the original Switch, because all the Switch players are older now. So I think, yeah, I think this is going to be more mature gamers. Another prediction that won't happen is the Street Pass. The console, it's just too big. It's bigger than the Switch OLED now. It's 8-inch screen, and the reason I think Street Pass works is because the 3DS, you could fold it. It won't get damaged if you put it in your pocket, whereas the Switch 2, you have to have a case. I guess that could work, but everyone would. I don't think anyone would bring a case along with them just for Street Pass. Yeah, I mean, it's too big. The Switch 2 is gonna be hard to be portable. So no Street Pass, no multi-screen gameplay, which is honestly a dumb idea to me. It pretty much ruins the concept of the Switch. Like, okay, you can play two screens in handheld, but you can play console games, but then you can't play it with two screens anymore. It's too complicated. I know people are wanting to get the DS style two screens back, but yeah, it's way too complicated. What else? No OLED screen and the 120 hertz screen. No, that's not gonna happen. Why would Nintendo add that while trying to keep costs down for the machine? So yeah, that's my bullet points right now. What other games? 3D Mario maybe. I think that might be a must. I don't think it's gonna be launch title, but around the holiday window, I think it will be fine. But other than that, I don't really. Yeah, I think that's it for my predictions.